flat is dead, and the city must rise. But what good are these heights without a way to cross? Today, I'm building bridges and walkways to connect my terrain throughout the city of the damned and make my games deadlier than ever.
Hey good folks, my name is Leif and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel called Devs and Dice, where I paint miniatures or craft awesome terrain for the tabletop. In the last few videos, I've built modular risers, stairs, ladders, and now the time has come for me to make some awesome bridges to connect all of these risers. But before we get into it, I want to ask you a small favor. If you like the content I make on this channel, then please do what you can by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you. First up, the most dangerous kind of crossing. A simple wooden bridge with nothing but rope for safety. Perfect for Mordheim. I start with two 1-foot sticks taped together. A little water and a blast from the hairdryer softens them, letting me coax them into a gentle curve. Some weights from a dumbbell keep them pinned until they dry. Once set, I lock the width of the bridge at about 2 inches wide. Just enough for a warband to cross, but still narrow and a little bit risky. Coffee stir sticks make perfect planks. I cut them down, then glue them across with white hobby glue. They give the bridge that classic uneven Mordheim look. Next, I cut short square sticks to act as posts, filing in a few rough details here and there so they look properly handmade. Once upon a time, somebody cared about this bridge. Once the planks are secure, I trim any overshooting ends and then I sand each side flush for a cleaner finish. The posts go in with superglue and activator, quick and sturdy. Then, using that cotton string I used in the last video, I tie a rope between each post. A little thin superglue locks the rope in place, giving that weathered, dangerous look. Finally, I sand down the underside of a bridge so it sits flush on flat terrain, ready to drop straight onto my risers. And there it is, a simple, curved wooden bridge with some rope and posts for security. Fast to build, fragile to look at, and perfect for creating those nail-biting moments when your warriors risks everything to cross. Next up is something sturdier. A straight wooden bridge with railings and a roof. The kind of bridge that might have been built before the comet struck, still standing defiantly amidst the ruins. Let me show you how I built it. I start with a simple laser-cut gable template, about 2 inches wide and 5 inches high. Using the template as a guide, I cut and glue together 2 A-frames from 5mm square dowels. Superglue and accelerator make this part quick and precise. With the gables ready, I glue in 4 beams along the bottom, each about 8 inches long. These form the main span of the bridge, its backbone. To strengthen the top, I glue together a pair of beams, 1 balsa, 1 wood, and I run them across the gables with the balsa side up. Now the frame feels less like craft sticks and more like a skeleton of an actual bridge. Once the frame is solid, I start laying in coffee stir sticks across the 4 beams. These become the planks of the walkway. To give it more story, I break a few here and there, leaving gaps so that you can imagine arrows or black powder shots flying through from below, or vice versa. And this is where the bridge starts to feel alive. Not just structure, but a place where battles happen, while someone risks their lives crossing while enemies stalk them from the shadows. After the planks are set, I trim the excess and sand the sides down smooth, giving a clean finish to look like worn carpentry. On both sides of the bridge, I glue in long beams that will support the railing. Then I cut a batch of coffee stir sticks down to about 1 inch high. These become the vertical planks. I glue them in with some white hobby glue, leaving gaps here and there to match the holes in the walkway. Those missing planks are important. They tell a story of decay, of damage, of someone hacking through the wood in desperation. It's small details like this that make the bridge feel dangerous, even before a miniature sets foot on it. Now for the roof. I glued in a set of vertical supports made from the same square dowels as before. You might wonder why I glued the balsa and the top beam together. Here comes the answer. The balsa is quite easily workable, and I'm going to sand this down so I get a nice flush base for the roof planks to be glued onto. With those in place, I add more coffee stir sticks as the underlying planks. And again, I leave a few gaps, places where the roof has been shattered or torn away. Once the planks are dry, I trim off the excess. Then I begin adding shingles, cut from thin cardstock. Row by row, they build a sense of weight and protection, like this bridge was meant to endure storms. For the ridge at the top, I split some paper straws in half and hot glue them in place. They make a perfect ragged capstone. As a final step, I cut and glue in 2 balsa wood ramps at each end. It's a small detail, but it makes sure miniatures can stand comfortably no matter where they are on the bridge. And that's the straight covered bridge. Solid, atmospheric, and full of story. It feels like something left behind from before the comet. A reminder of order and safety in a city now filled with ruin. I start by base coating the curved bridges in dark brown acrylic paint. I built 3 of them, each with bits of destructions to keep things unique. For the covered bridges, I primed them with the airbrush to get into all of the odd angles and specifically the shingles. Then I followed this with the same dark brown base coat. Next I stipple in 3 varied browns all on the wood to give a natural weathered look, before dry brushing it with light gray to bring out the age and texture. The shingles get a coat of paint that I mixed up myself, but very much similar to deep blue sea, followed by a light gray dry brush. Posters and graffiti go on next, adding some nice character and story. Finally, I hit everything with a dark brown wash through the airbrush, and then here and there I splash on some blood effect for battles long past. I want to thank all of my patrons for their support, and a special shout out goes to my champion and legend level patrons. Agresomnia, Andreas Winberg, Fredrik Kiersgaard Lund, Gunnar Byström, Henrik Mannestråle, Hunters Cave, Madners, Magnus Solberg, Teddy, Anton Hand, Arjen Angenent, Battlecore GV7, Gun Panda, Niklas Sedenlind, Oliver Granlund, RD, and The Elder Kind. With that, let's see the final result. Here are the bridges in their full glory. Each one unique, curved rope bridges with just enough planks to tempt a crossing, solid covered bridges still standing from before the comet struck. These pieces tie the city together. On the board, they become even more than just scenery. They're choke points and escape routes, ambush sites. Daring charges across swaying planks from the highest risers to the darkest alleys. These bridges connect stories as much as they connect terrain. Every crack, every missing plank, every splash of blood hints at battles fought and lost. The posters and graffiti tell of lives lived in the ruins. And every step a miniature takes across them is a risk. Because in Mordheim, danger is everywhere, even beneath your feet. And as the camera pulls back, the whole table comes alive. Risers, ladders, stairs, and now bridges. Modular pieces that transform flat ground into a city of danger and opportunity. This is Mordheim, the city of the damned. A battlefield where every crossing is a story waiting to be told. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.